Welcome everyone. I Professor NV Wagh. Today we are going to discuss about communication cycle. As per communication is the must thing you should excel in, because in day-to-day life you have to deal with the various kinds of situations, whether it is in your corporate life, otherwise in your personal life. So communication is the key when you are connecting with the people with the less fraction or less efforts. So the process of effective communication is explained in this video, so stay tuned. Next is you can see one T diagram is front of you, and the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, total 6 points are there. First is sender. Now who is sender? Sender is the person who creates and starts the message. For an example, thinks a teacher thinks I need to explain photosynthesis to students. So the thinking, it means the teacher is thinking now. The message is I need to explain photosynthesis to students. The second step is the message. Message, it means it whether be any kind of an idea or an information. The information the sender wants to communicate with. Example of messages, the explanation. Just before we took an example, we will take and we will understand it in every step, at every step. The example, the explanation of photosynthesis, the teacher thought to explain, that was the message. So the example is the explanation of photosynthesis. The third, it means the sub point we can take out of the two, encoding. Encoding, it means turning the idea into words, gestures, symbols or images. It means you can put your words, symbols and gestures, anything. Just for an example, the teacher used simple language, diagrams and hand gestures for giving explanation or explaining any kind of topic. The fourth one is channel or media of communication. Here the method used to send the message is called as channel. So that channel can be face-to-face talk, a phone call, any WhatsApp message, email, presentation or any kind of video, etc. There are several ways and channels or medium of communication you can use. An example, as per you can know, if you send any kind of video of photosynthesis to the another person, that another person will look that and observe and understand what you as a sender, what you want to tell. The fourth one is the receiver. Receiver is the person who receives and interprets the message. Interprets means understanding. This, for example, the students listening in class, listeners are who are listening. The teacher is telling is the sender and students are listening are the receivers. Now the decoding, the next part is decoding. Decoding is a sub part or sub point of receiver. Decoding is the work or the job of receiver to interprets or understands the message. Student understand how plant make food when the teacher is teaching. Student understand the photosynthesis process. Student understand what the teacher is trying to tell over on the board or an oral way or any kind of shown pictures. Then the next is feedback. Feedback, as per is a very easy concept term. You have been listening this concept by your childhood. Very easy. Feedback, it means the receivers, it's the job of receiver to respond to show whether the message was understood or not. It means yes, okay, how you are reacting to the WhatsApp messages you got, okay, fine, done, like those. Just another example, students asking questions, nodding or taking notes. Nodding, it means you just shaking your heads, completing an assignment correctly. So all are those your feedbacks. So the next is the barriers. Barriers, it means any kind of barrier you can observe or feel or experience, anything that distorts, it means to interferes with the messages. You are getting difficulties to understanding the message or to sending, to give the message, like a physical, psychological, language barrier, cultural barrier, any kind of. Just for an example, one person as a guest lecturer is present at your college, but his cultural background, he is totally different by you, from you. So you are not getting or interpreting what he is actually wants to tell. So that's a cultural or any kind of language barrier, you can say. Or otherwise the noise is the main factor of or main barrier in every communication. Just for an example, I can tell you, classroom, any kind of classroom noise, though students are making noise, so it's hard to understand the students who want to listen of their teacher. So this is the important and some highlighted points. So the next introduction, it means here we are communicating and we are following some steps like encoding, transmission, reception, decoding, and feedback to understand this cycle. And once you understand this, you are not able to give your message unclearly. You are able to give message clearly, reducing misunderstandings and improving interactions in professional settings. So this is very important when you are working in a professional set. So the sender and initiate, just now we discuss about the communication cycle starts with the sender who has an idea or information to convey. The sender initiates the process by deciding the communicate and identifying the purpose and audience. Real life example, you can say a manager is deciding to inform the team about a new project deadline. So that is an example of a sender who wants to give message or a task to his teammate or another person. Encoding the message, it means next is the encoding. The sender encodes the idea into a message using symbols, words, gestures. This step ensures that the message is structured for clear delivery. For example, the manager drafts an email outlining the project deadline and expectations with clear, concise language. The next is transmission and media. We can take an example of that. A video conference may convey tone and body language better than an email, enhancing understanding in professional communication. So instead of just mail, you can attend a conference or you can take a conference and convey your message in a better way as a manager. So these are some mediums or transmission or some channels you can use to communicate. So here's a receiver and decoding. A team member reads the when a manager sent a message. A receiver, it means who receives the message or the given words or gestures. And decoding, it means, just for an example, the manager has already sent a message. A team member reads the message of manager on email and interprets the deadline requirements. It means that particular team member understood what the manager wants to tell or wanted to tell. Then the feedback and response. Once you got the message, you have to respond. It means you have to give feedback, a reaction or reply, or the closing the communication loop. If you are assigned for any work, so you have to say yes, okay, like those words you have to use, or any kind of your action, your sent file will complete that loop means that whole circle, and it will complete our cycle of communication too. The team member confirms receipt of the project deadlines and asks questions if needed. So this is an example I told you about the feedback and response, or on an example just we took to understand this process once again. So total 2 examples I gave you, and in different ways we have discussed what are the cycles of communication. So barriers, you can take. If you are communicating by the long distance, so you can face internet barrier also. In video call, some distractions or any another, all kind of distractions you can take. So the conclusion of our practical is, the communication cycle is a continuous interactive process vital for workspace success or professional communication. Thank you everyone.